Hey internets, it's Jake from Mini Terrain Domain, and this is Scribes and Scrolls, the Candlekeep Mysteries, Book 3, the Book of the Raven. This is Chapter 24, The Scorn of the Red Wyrm. 24 sessions.
Wow.
It feels like we just started playing.
I know, half a year on the dot.
This is... of course, I keep wanting to say new, but we've been playing for 6 months. This is our new D&D campaign, the Candlekeep Mysteries campaign, happening every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/mini terrain domain. I'm trying to look at like multiple things. As you can already tell by the couple of blank screens, we are missing a couple of players tonight. Both Dwight and Jordan are out tonight, taking a much needed break to take care of a couple things. But we're going to go on without them. I cannot be held liable for the fiery deaths of their characters. Or whatever. We'll get to that in just a moment. We do have a couple of quick announcements. First and foremost, and I may end up doing this again at the end. I know Jordan is in chat right now. Just didn't have the energy for actually getting into character tonight, which is understandable because Jordan just ran a 4-day charity event with so many awesome members of her community helping out. The fourth, I believe, Color of Change, Games for Change, raising money for Color of Change. Jordan had a goal last year to raise $10,000 for Color of Change. At the end of 4 days yesterday, the original $2,500 goal was destroyed. And the total raise this weekend was $4,526, bringing the total for the year to $13,920.
Holy cow.
And I'm being corrected by Jordan in chat. It was the third stream, which makes that all the more impressive. Having done that in three streams, 3 stream weekends. Video games, D&D games. I got to run a game of Oops All Tiamat that nobody could have predicted that game would end with Tiamat seducing a Tarask. I am not kidding. You'll have to look for the VODs on that one over on D&D Jordan Lee. I know Gary ran something. Dwight played in the Tiamat game, and Gary, Dwight, and I all produced, as well as some other amazing game masters and players and everybody in the chat and the moderators. Huge thank you to everybody. Jordan, well-deserved, has an amazing community of support around her. And congratulations, Jordan. Your hard work has paid off, and we salute you. So take your much-needed rest. Yeah, so in addition to that, paling in comparison to those awesome accomplishments, I want to draw your attention to the lower left-hand corner of the screen. We do have a couple of sponsor icons there. Talon and Claw and Run Right Play are our channel sponsors. You can type in !MTD Claw for Talon and Claw information, or !RWP for Run Right Play. And there will be information that pops up throughout the stream. Something else I want to draw your attention to, up above where Assyria is in the upper right hand corner, we have domain tomes. Currently,
did you give us our one that we are owed?
I'm about to. Stepping on my presentation.
I apologize.
When you subscribe, such as what you're looking at, who is the channel's very first ever subscriber, when the channel went live. Apparently 44 months ago, 44 months in a row, this is what happens. A domain tome magically appears. You can do those with $5 donation or tips, with 500-bit cheers, and with subs and gift subs. You can also do that through the Ko-Fi or Coffee or however you want to say it link. There's a link down here below my name tag. In addition to the regular domain tomes, which grant the players such abilities as rerolling, rolling with advantage, or making me, the DM, reroll, there are brand new limited edition domain tomes available only for me, the Dungeon Master. This is what they look like. If you look, I'll direct your attention to right here as they start to
Oh my god.
fail to magically appear. There we go.
It appeared right on his fingertip.
And the price is a little steeper. You really got to want me to have these domain tomes, these limited editions. It takes a $20 tip or a I got to change it, actually. I just realized my math was off. It says 2,500 bits. It would actually be 2,000 bits. Yes. To make those happen. I can only have a maximum of 5 limited edition tomes. And I can do one of 3 things. I can spend 1 tome to cast Helping Hand and gain an advantage myself. I can cast or use 3 tomes, and I can cast Halfling's Luck, which gives me or lets me re-roll. And for 5 domain tomes, I can cast Counterspell to cancel out the player's own spending of 5 domain tomes to make me re-roll. I can force that roll to stay. Wow. And the players will not lose their 5 domain tomes. It's a trade-off.
Oh, that's good to know.
So if you spend 5 tomes and I cast Counterspell, then your tomes revert back to you, and but I lose all 5 of mine. If you donate in excess of the 5, your donation will be turned into tomes for the players. That's how we're going to handle that. So if you accidentally give me a 6th DM limited edition tome, that will be 4 tomes for the players.
Thank you.
And that information you can actually find by typing !limited in the chat. Like I said, I will correct that later about the 2,500 bits. Anyway, we are already off to a late start, so I'm going to do one more announcement real quick. You will see the information popping up in chat from time to time. It will show up across the bottom of the screen, but I need to tell you that you matter. This is the most important thing before we play our games, to let you know that it is okay to not be okay. But we recognize that you might be struggling for one reason or another. But please know you do not have to do so alone. There is help available out there. It is as simple as typing !help in the chat. Grab that link for findahelpline.com. Click it, bookmark it, save it for yourself, save it for a friend. It is an easy to use resource to find help no matter where you are in the world. It will be the most important first step in a journey to finding the help you need. We encourage you to please use that. Without further ado, we are going to play some Dungeons and Dragons. All right. So, for the last several days, I was going to say I lost track of how many days, but actually I didn't, because I keep a calendar.
Oh my God.
Of all of the players' travels and everything they do.
And also the moon phases, because that matters.
Yep, moon phases have become important. You began traveling on green grass between the months of Tarsak and Myrtle. You've spent a total of 5 days in travel to get to the certain 6 days, counting Greengrass. It is the 5th day of Myrtle, and it's been a busy day. You made camp with a supposed ally by the name of Gut Ripper, a troll that rescued you from the Timor Forest, the Forest of Fear. Made you a nice cozy camp, cooked some food with you, and the next day got close to the bridge, turned on you, decapitated one of your horses, and tried to rip out your guts, true to their name. But the book club escaped, racing away in the cart with Mizya at the reins. That proved almost disastrous, but quick thinking from Teera and Assyria stopped the cart from getting out of control. You traveled at a very, very slow pace with Doc at the reins, allowing everybody to gain the benefits of a short rest. While traveling, Assyria and Vorn began to notice telltale signs of some kind of activity in the region. The sparse forest was showing signs of burned trees. The smell of sulfur was in the air. And they began to notice some figures slinking in the distance alongside, tracking them. They quickly dealt with what turned out to be 4 kobolds, a kobold with wings, and 2 kobold shields. Doc, towering over the kobold with wings, intimidated him into running the heck out of there. But the rest of them remained and fought to the death. But as the last kobold fell, they heard a terrible screaming roar rip through the air. They heard a tremendous and a shadow passes overhead.
Oh my God.
Adventurers, what are you going to do?
I am going to hide. I want to like dive under the cart and get my sword out.
All right. You still have your sword in hand, having just finished killing kobolds.
Yeah. Yep. So I have it out and I just dive under the cart and I'm kind of like peeking up.
As you dive under the cart, you find Mizya is already under the cart.
Oof.
Yes. There's plenty of room here.
Doc is going to look underneath the cart and he's going to say, if it sees the cart, it's going to know somebody was here and it's going to come and look. And apparently, so I've heard, dragons have better eyesight than people.
And what do you propose we do, Doc?
Say hello.
Well, okay. How about you say hello and then the rest of us will stay under the cart.
Okay.
And then if it goes well, we'll come out and say hello too.
Oh, you're going to stay under the cart?
We're underneath the cart because there's a dragon coming for.
Well, we meet our death with honor. Since when have you become a scared warrior?
I narrow my eyes and roll out from under the cart and like brush myself off. I'm like, I could talk to a dragon. I ain't afraid.
Yeah.
I mean,
straight.
You might not be afraid now, but you were definitely afraid 64 seconds ago when you rolled under the cart to cower with Mizya.
I was checking on Mizya's physical state. They've been hiding under the cart for a while now, and I wanted to make sure that they were fine. Doc, and then I see this.
You hear from under the cart, Mizya, through gritted teeth, they say, "You are talking loud and often. That is a good day to die, good way to die, with or without honor."
Doc is going to whisper to Mizya, "The dragon already knows we're here. Whether we talk or not, it's going to find us. We can't hide the cart."
Doc is right.
What's Assyria doing?
Make me a investigation roll.
I am to Assyria as Ricky is to Mizya. I will make sure we all keep tabs on Assyria. And there we go. What role did you say that was?
That is a investigation.
Investigation. I got a 10.
You do not see Assyria anywhere.
Uh-oh. Oh,
Teera,
okay.
it's okay to be afraid. We just can't run away from our fears, right? Hide from them? No. Listen, look at my hands. And like you look at Vorn's hands and they're literally shaking as he's trying to look tough.
As you're showing your shaking hands, you all hear somewhere in the distance, not in the distance, somewhere nearby to the right of the cart, you hear the snapping of a tree, not tree branches. It sounds like a tree snapping. And then you see several branches falling down to the ground. If you would like to, you can make an investigation or perception check in that direction.
Ho ho ho.
My perception is a 22.
Oh,
My investigation is a 22.
Okay.
power 9.
Twinsies.
Yay! Hashtag 20 is winning.
You, let me see. There's the investigation. There it is. Rolling for Assyria. Doc and Teera.
Mm-hmm.
You notice where these tree branches have fallen. This is myrtle called the melting. It is sort of becoming spring proper. If you were further up into the mountains, there might even be more snow still on the ground. So trees are just beginning to get their blossoms, the first buds on them. So these trees all around you do not really have much in the way of leaves. They're a clutter of branches. So you can see easily where on one of the larger trees there is a shadowy yet crimson shape clinging about 50 feet up on a tree. The tree itself is sort of... And next to it is the broken top of another tree. As you hear from all around you, I know you're there.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Tira's hands start to shake too, and then you hear like that kind of leather creaky sound as she just like tightens her grip on her sword to try to like stop her hands from shaking.
What was the dragon's name?
Morn Vorothator.
Morn
is what
Vorothator.
you were told.
We aren't hiding.
Why do you not hide in fear from me?
Because I was always told that dragons can be fair if you talk to them honestly. It's when they cower in fear that you lose their respect and they have no interest in talking to you. Then you either become a meal or a prize.
Make a performance or persuasion check.
Advantage.
Yes. Thank
Yes,
you.
atta
Well done.
boy, atta
Well
boy,
done.
get it.
Absolutely.
Whoops,
Yup.
wrong button.
This is important.
This is super important.
And I'm going to guidance myself in advance of this.
Yep.
There you go.
Boop.
Okay. I rolled 2 6s. We're cool with re-rolling those, right?
Yeah, we roll those.
Yeah.
All right, that's going to take you from 7 to 4.
Let's go. Let's burn it down.
Let's see who's in the house tonight. We
Okay.
got Jay Neophet.
Okay.
You're in there?
Action
Shamelessly
works.
shilling for domain tomes.
Who
Hey,
else we got? TTRP GIFs.
there's now limited edition domain tomes available for your humble DM as well.
Yeah,
your
those are way
dirty
more
mouth,
expensive.
Jake.
Shut your whore mouth.
Okay. So the good news is I rolled a 15.
There we go.
Hey, that's good.
The better news is that the other die was a 20.
There we go.
Oh,
All right.
So that will take my persuasion roll to 28, which is the absolute best that I can do.
Let's go.
Nice. Mathematical max.
So you don't catch, like, as you say all of this, what you hear is like the dragon is, this voice is about to say something.
Mhm.
And then you hear, and those of you that saw exactly where it was, you see the tree suddenly sway hard in one direction as you see the wings of something push away from the top of the tree. With the perception investigation rolls, you had to notice this thing. As it flies from the treetops and crosses angrily over the path to the other side, you see a creature that is about the size of a horse, maybe a little bit bigger, though its wingspan is probably about 20 or 30 feet.
Okay.
This is not a big dragon by any stretch of the imagination. Nonetheless, it is going to, aiming specifically at the cart, it is going to exhale a cone of fire.
Shit. Can I react? Do something or not?
You do get a reaction.
This time for realsies, I do want to go under the cart.
You will.
Hug
So
on to
this
Mizya
is going to
and
be
roll.
depending on your dexterity roll then.
Okay.
So I need Vorn, Doc, and Teera to make dexterity saving throws.
I got a 13.
Mizya actually will do so as well. You got
Power
13.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I need Mizya's sheet. Let's see. Dexterity saving throw for Mizya is a power 5. Well, 8. Oh, wait. Sorry. That was with advantage.
All right, so we're fighting this dragon now, right?
No.
Okay, that was 6. So 8. So
Ooh,
as the
that's
dragon flies over this cart, Doc and Vorn, what did you get?
14.
8.
Okay. Doc and Teera, you saved.
Oh God.
So as you dive under the cart, you are only going to take 12 points
Oh,
of fire damage.
damn.
Only 12?
Mizya is going to take 12 points of fire damage. Vorn, or Doc, you're going to take 12 points of fire damage as well.
Mm-hmm.
Vorn,
Yes.
you are going to take 25 points.
Oh, are you okay?
No, Vorn's dead.
No, Vorn is unconscious.
Scared me. Don't say that.
Hold on, let me check something, because
There are different things in this game.
the negative,
He's fine.
Oh, bro, you're gonna have
Yeah,
a cool scar like
the negative
Zuko.
damage is 13. So you're like 5. You were 5 points away from true death.
Yeah.
So you, Vorn. So as this dragon flies overhead, there's just suddenly this sweep of the wings. It dips in low. Doc and Vorn, you're able to see this very easily. Teera, you catch sight and immediately duck under the cart. Flames still manage to get into the cart as this cone just jets across. Somebody roll me, two of you, or one of you roll me a d20. I have to
Cari.
check one other thing.
I'll do it.
I got one of them here.
D20 is an 8.
That's
I rolled the dice specifically for Assyria. I have 4 sets out.
That was
for
not
your
an
tiers.
Assyria roll.
My
No, it
D20
wasn't.
is
I
a
know it
16.
wasn't. I'm just saying.
Okay, so you rolled an 8.
Yeah.
I rolled a 16.
Teera, as you duck underneath the cart and you and Mizya catch some of the fire, you see the horse that was pulling the cart
Ooh.
drop smoldering to the ground.
Oh, damn it. Oh, we're screwed.
You also see Vorn drop next to the cart, smoldering.
Shit.
Doc, how do you dodge out of the way of this fire breath?
Doc doesn't dodge out of the way. He just absorbs it.
Like Superman. Pew, 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 pew.
Because it's important for him to, because from his perspective, he thinks he has to talk to the dragon respectfully. So he's just going to sit there and suck flames.
Suck flames.
So if you're not dodging out of the way, are you choosing to fail that deck save?
No, just,
Can
I
you
still
at
made the
least
deck
do
save.
this with your lab coat like Dracula?
sure.
Cool.
Through all of his mysterious work in the past, his lab coat is stained
like
Flame
with
retardant.
flame
Adamantium.
retardant. It's a flame retardant lab coat. You, Doc, as you are one of the only ones that are still up and in the immediate area, you see about 30 feet to the left another treetop sort of as the dragon has perched about another 50 feet up on top of a tree.
Doc is going to say, "Are you ready to talk to us now?"
I can do this all day until you're all cooked.
I scramble out from under the cart and I like go over to Vorn and I'm like looking at him and just like,
Do I
oh
look like a
God.
piece of chicken that's been on the grill too long?
Yeah, he smells like burnt hair and also meat, and that's kind of terrifying. And so I'm just kind of like panicked, like looking down at Vorn, like I can't help him. I don't know how to, I don't have anything that could help him. And instead I just stand up and like stand between him and the dragon, defending
There you
his
go.
gross
Okay.
smoking corpse.
There you go.
Vorn,
Yes.
roll me a d20 straight up.
Oh God. Oh God. Pressure is real.
17.
That is one successful death saving throw.
All
Let's
right.
go. Let's go.
Can't kill me.
You
Do you know
hear
who I am?
cracking of the treetop. It doesn't break completely as the dragon leaps more than flies about 15 feet closer to another tree, clinging to it where you can now see it. Do you speak for all of these humanoids? It seems to be
Yes.
directing right at you, Doc.
I do.
Teera, what's your passive perception?
Passive perception is a 13.
Hold on one second. I had to open a second one. I keep jumping back and forth between these two character sheets. Let me just check something. You got a what now?
13 is my passive
Okay.
perception.
You just catch to about maybe 15 feet to your left, hidden partially behind a tree and some scrub brush. It's more the sound, that sort of that was a terrible sound, but of a bow being drawn, the tension of a bow, and you just catch a little bit of movement that Assyria is completely hidden behind this tree and is tracking this dragon.
Oh my God, awesome.
As Doc, it's your opportunity to speak again.
I think we can come to some sort of understanding. After all, you could do this all day, but so can we.
Oh my God, that's not true.
And in the
I don't
end,
say that. I don't say that. That was Cari.
and in the end, we both have better things to do. How can we both come out of this unharmed? Because after all, we don't want to hurt you either. But if you keep attacking us, we might have to.
You think you can harm me? It pushes off of the tree and lands 15 feet in front of the wagon and you, Doc. There's just this, and the wings, it lets them sort of splay out for a moment, and then they settle back on its back. You see the bright crimson scales of this dragon, spiraling horns just beginning to move back over its head. Again, this thing is only slightly, it's about the size of like a large war horse. But nowhere near as large as the tales of some dragons you've heard about. It doesn't take a step closer, but it does exhale a large plume of smoke out of its nostrils. It shows its teeth, and you can just see the embers of the glowing fire in its throat. You are either very brave or very stupid. Teera.
Yeah.
You notice at your feet as Mizya sort of leans out from under the cart and is desperately like trying to pull on Vorn, trying to pull Vorn's weight.
Yeah.
But their frail form can't handle it. So instead, they just kind of glance up and are glancing to the forward or to the front, and they're starting to it looks like they're starting to administer some very basic first aid. Vorn, roll me another death saving throw.
Come on, man, let's go. Let's have a night. have a night. Come on.
Let's see what we got here. 16.
Oh,
that is
man.
a success. So 2 successes as Mizya gets a 21 on their medicine check.
Yes.
Mizya is able to perform some very basic, like I said, very basic triage, and there's this sort of just one subtle cough from Vorn. But Vorn, you are stable, but you are at 0 hit points. And unless otherwise awakened or healed, you will be unconscious for the next 3 hours.
Can I dream?
Can I have a dream,
You
Dad?
absolutely can.
Hey, God, can I get a dream?
Okay.
You gotta have
Hey,
a dream.
deities, it's me, Vorn. Doc.
Are you there? Are you there?
Are you saying anything in response to the dragon landing in front of you?
Yes. Doc is going to say, "What brave? Either very brave or very stupid."
What
did he say?
That's what he said to you. You're either very brave or very stupid.
Everything I've heard about dragons suggests they're quite wise. That's what I'm counting on. And Doc is going to hop off the cart, and he himself is going to stand up to his full height.
All right, make a either intimidation or persuasion, whatever you're trying to do.
It is going to be a persuasion,
Oh my god.
and I'm going to use a tome.
Look at those tomes just dwindling away. Let's go.
So that's 18 persuasion.
All right. The dragon, you see it very closely watching you as you step down off of the cart. And as you climb down and just stand there, it sees your full height, your full size. It takes the measure of you. You see it sort of cocking its head to one side. It takes a couple of big inhales. There is something different in your scent. You don't smell like the others.
Yes, I'm different.
Why don't I smell your fear?
Because death isn't something to be feared, if that's what's meant to be. Besides, I've died before. Have you?
I am a red worm. I fear not death. Death will not claim me. Especially not at your hands. Perhaps death will not claim you again this day. I claim you as treasure for my horde. You are a curiosity, the likes of which none will have. You will come with me back to the caldera. You will be the center of attention as you are inducted into Morn Vorothator's horde.
Doc looks back at Teera and Vorn, and he's going to say, hang on.
Teera's just sort of looking wide-eyed at Doc and kind of back at the dragon or the worm.
Doc is going to say, okay, but not until my friends depart.
There must be a mistake. I'm claiming all of you for my horde.
Okay.
Doc, are you Doc?
Oh, just a moment, please. He's going to turn around to Teera and he's going to say, yeah.
Doc, you're gonna let this thing take us prisoner?
Do you see any other options?
I kind of like stand back for a second and I look down at Vorn, who's still clearly not doing well. And then I kind of, as I'm looking down at him, I see like the scorch marks on my own body and my armor. And I realize I'm not doing well. And Mizya's tiny, frail purple hand lurching out from under the cart like a spook show. And then frickin' see a serious little bow.
So you were saying? I have a plan.
I guess not.
He's going to look back at the dragon. And he's going to say, okay, we'll go with you. and he's going to he's going to unfasten the horse from the cart, and he's just going to push it aside using brute strength, and then he's going to tie himself to the cart.
You
and he's
have
gonna,
2 living horses.
Oh, I thought we were all fresh out of horses.
oh,
Well, you've only lost 2. You still have Assyria and Teera's horses.
Oh, that's true.
right, okay. Then I will tie that horse to it, and I'm going to say, okay, so my friends will hop in the cart and we will go with you to the caldera. I didn't like this forest anyway. Too many wolves. They tend to follow you wherever you go and just get in the way. It's very uncomfortable and I don't like it.
Yes, dude. Yes, dude. I'm so proud of you.
The dragon looks at you, watches the whole time as you're switching out this horse, moving the cart back away from the dead horse. And as you start to move the cart, Mizya scrambles out from underneath it, and also a bit singed around the edges. Mizya just looks to you, Teera, and says, "We should put Vorn in the back." I would, but... And
No.
they just hold up their tiny, frail hands.
When they do this, it sounds like a deer rattle. So I'm gonna, I kind of go like, I hunch down and like pick up Vorn and like firemen's carry him essentially and try to be as gentle as I can, putting him in the back of the cart.
The dragon, seeing that you have the wagon all set up, looks at you, Doc. "You will follow the road until you reach the caldera. If you are not there, all 4 of you, in the next hour, I will return to finish cooking you."
Well, I'll be honest. I tend to drive the cart very slowly, but I promise we'll be there. Did you want to eat this dead horse? It seems like it's already cooked.
"Never you mind about what I eat." And the wings sort of flare out. 1 hour! And in one mighty push, the dragon flies upward, spins around, and you just hear this. And it starts heading up further along to the south in the direction that the road travels.
Okay, well, we're dragon pets now. We should probably
Okay.
follow the road.
Oh, what are we
Um,
gonna, Doc? What are we gonna do? What's the plan?
You'll see.
when the dragon is completely out of sight, all of a sudden, Assyria is just there at the cart. Assyria is very stealthy. As she just says, "Honestly, I had no idea what you were going to do. I thought you were going to fight it."
Well, that would have been very stupid.
I'm glad you didn't shoot at it. That would have made things very awkward.
Well, I am too, Doc. It appears that it didn't even know I was here.
It did not.
That was
Soren and
really
I
impressive.
will follow you, staying hidden as much as possible to see where you are going. See if we can figure out what our next plan of action will be. In the meantime, and Assyria, I'm just going to make sure they can do this. Oh, you are... Nope, you are not lucky. I thought Assyria had... a... hold on. Cure wounds. They do not. Let me just double check here.
I mean, she can memorize cure wounds, but she might not have it memorized.
No, it does not appear to be that way. Let me just double check Mizya. I don't want to leave abilities on the table.
Thank
if
you.
they can help.
Well, Doc is going to cast Cure Wounds on Vorn.
Thank you, Doc.
So get back 11 HP.
There we go.
Nice.
So we'll resolve you coming to in just a moment, Vorn, as Assyria looks at all of you and says, "You better get moving. I don't feel that dragon is going to be generous with its time." And Assyria quickly moves back into the brush, and you can track her for about 20 feet, and then she just seems to blend in
Wow.
with the surroundings. You don't even hear Soren, as Soren's padding silently through the woods. As you begin to drive the wagon, start heading that way, we're gonna go to Vorn for a moment.
Mhm.
In these several moments where you are unconscious,
Mhm.
and before Doc brings you back to consciousness,
Mhm.
what are you dreaming about?
Vorn is in a landscape that is all barren with distant mountains, and it has a dark, like green composition with green lightning striking around. And he begins to speak with one of his deep ancestors, that is his mother's mother's mother. And it's one of those things where you're lucid dreaming, but as you return to consciousness, you almost forget what was said and you're left with a feeling. And he sees this orc. She is tall, she is muscular. In his mind, 7 foot. She is carrying the blood axe, and she speaks to him about the blood axe and how it draws from your own energy and uses you. And the longer you use it, the closer you become to death. And Vorn doesn't remember these in words. He just remembers the feeling as he awakes back up in the cart with, I imagine, half of his, you know how the Incredible Hulk like loses his shirt, but somehow doesn't lose his pants?
Yes.
Yeah, like all of his gear is burned off of him, and he has all these burns on his face and on his chest and on his front torso, and just around like the point where his goggles were on his eyes, so like it's burned around his face. So now instead of being Vorn, he now looks like a Vorn that's been kind of like windswept with fire, if you will, as he kind of snaps back into the conscious world and looks around and he sees Doc. Is Doc chewing or spitting something on him that makes him get his health back?
Probably.
And you know how like in Baywatch when people would be revived after they were drowning, they kind of like choke back up. That's what kind of Vorn does, as like the mashed up leaves or whatever Doc was chewing up and spit on upon his face to give him back his health, as he comes back and immediately reaches like out to the air and he's looking for his axe and there's nothing there, and he kind of grasps like into like empty air and he kind of looks around and gets his bearing around him, disoriented.
Easy, Vaughn. Easy.
Vorn, so one last lingering image from this dream, because the details of it are, as you said, they're already fading. But as this lightning is happening, and this ancestor is talking about the blood axe, every time your attention was drawn to the blood axe, so now in these last vestiges of the stream that you're clinging to, you see the blood axe, and over your ancestor's shoulder, filling the immensity of the sky, in a flash of lightning, you see a form there, an entity of some sort, roiling either in the clouds, a part of the clouds, or hiding in the clouds. You're not sure. And just as you start to kind of think about that, you start to lose the grasp of even the blood axe from the stream, and then it's gone.
Ooh.
Mizya is quietly, as the cart is rolling along, is over and over again casting prestidigitation, trying to clean away some of the burnt nature of your clothing, your armor, anything else. I don't have mending, so I can't repair it.
Vorn immediately like looks for his mohawk and he's like,
Oh,
my.
There's a little bit of crispy stubble right near the scalp.
Yeah.
Some of it actually breaks off.
damn it! Oh God.
Well, I think we have to look on the bright side.
I turn to Doc kind of slowly. I'm like, "What's the bright side?"
It could have been worse.
Ugh.
And the way you feel, like if you ever had touched a hot stove or burned yourself on iron, that's how Vorn's like chest and face and hands feel. Like the only thing that's left is literally like his gauntlets somehow survived, like his leather gauntlets, but
Oh,
everything else is gone. And he's like, everything kind of tender to the touch and blistery. I'm alive. I think
Maybe that's better than the alternative.
yeah. And I kind of
And-
look at Warren. I'm like, "You're alive."
I'm alive. And deep down inside, Vorn feels that he needs to find and get this blood axe. Somehow he's connected to it. He doesn't know how or what it means, but it's a feeling that he feels deep down inside.
Who looks the most injured? Don't tell me your hit points. Just who looks injured of our group right now?
I look injured. I don't know if I
Mizya,
am the worst injured.
Mizya, you can see as they are casting this cantrip and cleaning these burnt areas, and you see them sort of casting this spell, and then you watch as they kind of go, sorry, and they are struggling to stay up.
I'm going to, as I'm driving the cart, I'm going to reach into my pack and chew up some moss for Mizya and smush it together with the special black powder. And I'm going to rub it on Mizya's face and heal Mizya for 8 points of damage.
Not going to lie, Doc, that is truly disgusting,
Well,
but I feel better.
as I said, it could have been worse.
Oh.
But as he says that, Doc's going to look around and he's going to be quiet for a minute. And he's going to look at Mizya and he's going to look at Vorn and he's going to look at Teera and he's going to kind of like lean in almost like he was sharing a secret. And he says, because after all, remember, if we're alive and together, we'll always have a chance. And then he's going to look back to the road and continue driving.
Oh my God.
As you are driving along, I would like each of you to make a, if you would like to, you can make a history check. Specifically, it's as you're thinking about this dragon, it's just to see how much you know about dragons.
Nat one. I know less than nothing.
11.
Teera, it's like you've heard stories and you just saw a tale you've heard used to frighten children just appear in front of you. It's no wonder you dove under the cart. I mean,
It was real.
this was a dragon. It was real. It breathed fire. It burned you. Yeah.
It's true. All of it.
A natural 20, but I would like to save that for a different roll.
That's not quite how that works.
I would like to bank that, please.
Can I
This
put that
seems like a
aside?
dumb use of
Vorn
a
is
nat
sitting here
20.
going, oh, I wish I knew something. I wish I knew this much about other things. This
Chicken,
may
he's in
actually turn out,
combat.
Vorn, to be beneficial. Because as Teera has just seen dragon, myth incarnate, for whatever reason, whether it's stories told, the experiences of other members of your tribe, whatever it may have been, of your clan, whatever, this dragon is way smaller than dragons. Most dragons are depicted. And thinking back on even what you were told by Gut Ripper, this dragon is probably not very old. This is probably not even... This is either a young dragon or even like a wormling. You might be dealing with an adolescent dragon.
Yeah, so
See that,
Vorn,
you're scared. Sorry.
Vorn kind of like sits up and kind of leans on the back of the cart, and he's like, there are dragons that are way larger, way more powerful. And he kind of like spits, and he's still trying to, deal with being like 85% of his body being burned. This is a youngling. It's possibly even a teenager in terms of, if it was a creature like us, it's 2 feet, maybe a child at best. And he kind of like hawks a loogie out off of the side of the thing.
Well, I don't care how old it is. It still managed to do a pretty good number on us.
Yeah, I'm not
And
saying
what-
it's not strong. I'm just saying that it's young. And
But if
Yeah.
it was as strong as its bravado, it would have killed us.
are you,
But it didn't.
I think you're right, Doc. I think you're onto something. Are you saying that it gave it its best shot and wasn't able to take us out?
I'm saying that the dragon wasn't completely sure it could win, so it didn't fight.
Doc, you're right.
Because even at a 60-40, it's still a 40% chance you could die.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the numbers you're talking about mean, but I think you're onto something.
Oh,
I
do you want me to explain it to you?
Oh no, these goggles are wrecked. They're all covered in black soot.
and those are his mask goggles.
Anybody have a rag or something?
Mizya
I-
just redirects her prestidigitation and kind of moves her hand over the lenses, and you watch the soot just sort of lift off of the lenses, and then
Cool.
Doc is going to pull some iron filings out of his bag, and he's going to break out some black powder or some broken glass. He's going to mix it all together, and he's going to blow it towards Vorn and cast mending on his math goggles.
Aww.
Good Lord, these are, my goodness. I've been seeing the world in, what do you call it? Like, it's never been so clear. Everything is, I would say, high definition now.
Vorn finally got the right prescription.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
What we don't know is that the missing part of Doc's name tag on his jacket says Lens Crafters.
Lens Crafters.
He's an optometrist. He's an optometrist.
So, knowing that the dragon is a youngling, what else does that give us in terms of being able to work our way out of this?
Well, you have an hour of travel to think about that. The four of you, because you're not doing much for this hour, may use your short rest.
Nice.
Ricky, I believe you have one, because you took a short rest last week when you weren't here. So if you click your short rest button, you should have one hit die remaining. When you check that off, it'll bring up a roller and you can roll for hit points that you'll get back. We can go ahead and do that as we take a break. We will come back in about 10 minutes. So please, everybody, thank you for tuning in. Take a look up above where Asaria is there and notice they only have 3 domain tomes remaining, and I have none.
That's a shame.
Behold, my shelf of domain tomes, for it is bare.
Song.
But keep that in mind as we head into break. Stick around. We will be back in about 10 minutes. We'll see you on the other side. And we're back. The cart is rumbling along. You are doing your best to rest up and recover as much as you can, knowing where you're headed. Doc sitting in the front, you have a clear view that the longer the cart rumbles along the trail, and Teera, I imagine you are on the one other remaining horse that's not on the pulling the cart.
Yep.
As Mizya and Vorn are in the back, and Assyria and Soren have vanished into the woods, presumably tracking, keeping an eye, but you have not spotted them. Doc, you notice that the trees are becoming more and more sparse. You're noticing that what trees there are completely blackened. All of you are picking up on the heavier just stench of sulfur filling the air. You notice that you are beginning to, the road is beginning to climb upward a little bit. After a good 40-45 minutes, you begin to notice figures emerging from the edge of the road. Kobolds of all shapes and sizes. You actually see several of the Dragon Shield kobolds, the kobolds that had the spears and the shields, and a number of lesser kobolds with little more than a leather what is it called?
Slingshot?
Underwear.
A loincloth.
Loincloth. That's the
Well,
word
there
I
you
couldn't
go.
think of. They're wearing leather underwear.
They're wearing leather panties.
But you also see several other that are clad in rags and are clutching young kobolds to them. There appears to be an entire colony of kobolds here. All told, you can see somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 to 50 kobolds that are all around. It has the look of riding into an impoverished town. Many of the kobolds that you're seeing, particularly the men and women, or males and females, and they're young, they look very emaciated. They look tired. They stand there staring blankly as you roll by. But as you get more and more up this hill, there's all told about a dozen of these dragon shields that are flanking the road. And when you get to be in about their midst, you hear the sort of in unison of their spears hitting their shields, and then they are flanking you, 6 on either side, and they begin to escort you further up the hill. The road begins to curve around to the right a little bit, and you see, as you sort of crest the top of this hill, you are now sort of riding along the edge of a caldera, this depression in the ground that looks to be about 60 feet across. The edges are jagged. There is an incredible heat emanating from within, and this is where the strong scent of sulfur comes from. It's all charcoal, gray and black volcanic rock on the interior of this, but there are fissures here and there where you see steam and gases rising. This caldera sits upon a mostly dormant remnants of a volcano. But there must be some sort of thermal activity happening underneath. As you begin to move around the edge of this caldera, you can see a place where inside many of the kobolds have sort of moved ahead or just vanished, and then you see more faces peeking out of the caldera. Goes down probably about 30-40 feet in total depth, but all along the rings of it are these cave entrances, and you see kobolds peering out from within, more of these impoverished looking kobolds just watching.
And about how big is this caldera again?
It's about 60 feet across and about 30 feet deep.
Okay.
I mean, for a caldera, it's not that big.
That's what Vorn says out loud.
I'm just saying.
Wow. Wow. I am
Sorry.
just clip-clopping along the side of this cart on my horse.
After a few more minutes, you were brought around to a place where the road seems to lead down into the caldera, but the dragon shields form a wall in front of you and prevent you from moving forward. One of them looks up at you and says, "On foot! You walk now."
I kind of look over at Doc, and I specifically at Doc. I'm kind of waiting for his leave on this. I'm not gonna follow any freaking kobold's orders.
Doc is going to jump off the cart and he's going to say, "Okay."
And then I look at Mizya.
Mizya is looking around, staring at all of these creatures. It's hard to get a read on what they are thinking, as they're just sort of seem to be scanning the crowd and just taking everything in. But when Doc steps down, Mizya slides over to the edge and also climbs down.
Teera looks hesitant for a second and then kind of rolls her eyes and hops off the horse, but makes a big show that she's specifically doing it to go help Vorn off of the back of the cart.
Yeah. Vorn during his short rest got like 9 hit points back. So it's feeling a lot better. And kind of looking at, his skin, and it's already scabbing over with the burn marks and everything. Following you, Teera.
Fine by me.
Yeah, and he kind of like reaches back into the cart and grabs his axe, because like his gear's all burnt up and he has literally the equivalent of like, biker shorts on now with his axe.
I was gonna say, Vorn looks like he's straight out of a 1970s sci-fi fantasy movie.
Yeah.
Yep. He's got leather gauntlets and his pants are reduced.
He's like Conan. He's straight up Conan right now. That's awesome. That is awesome.
It's so silly.
Amazing.
As you reach for your axe, you feel a firm jab in your side of a spear. Not enough to draw blood. And then you just hear one of these kobolds. No. Another one or two actually come up to you, Teera. Weapons in wagon.
I'm not giving up my sword. Mizya, Doc, this is from my family. I'm not giving this to him. Doc, talk to him. You talked to the dragon before.
If you not put weapon in wagon, I put weapon with hand holding it in wagon.
Doc is going to make an intimidation check on the kobold, and he is going to say, "You didn't summon us here. We were summoned by Morn for Goroth. So perhaps
as you say, Morn for Goroth,
oh, no.
Several kobolds around you go." It's as if you just said a horribly offensive thing in their presence. Go ahead and intimidate.
Morn Voreth.
Okay, well, that's a good roll at least. Okay, so I'm going to use.
We only have 3 left.
Hang on.
Okay.
Doc is going to use knowledge from a past life. And wow, that was a good roll. So Doc is going to,
there you go.
As he's standing in front of this kobold, he has a flash of recognition, but it isn't of a kobold. It is of a dragon's eye, which is larger and broader than, I can't even think of a size. Larger than, broader than a halfling. And he's standing eye to this dragon. And as he sees this flash, he's inspired to be convincing. And so with my D6, that's a 30 intimidate.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Wow. Is that the first time we've broken into the 3s, guys? I think so.
Wow.
Damn.
What are you saying to intimidate these kobolds?
He's going to say, "We were summoned here by the dragon. We don't take orders from you."
Oh my god.
The kobolds immediately in the area, they take a step back away from you. And they begin under their breath in Draconic. And you do pick out in their chatter the name Mornvarothader. And they sort of glance towards the caldera. And then the one that poked you in the side, Vorn, pokes you in the side again and says, "Pick up your axe. We have decided Monveratatar want you with all your possessions. And
Teera
Doc,
laughs just like that.
you will notice that as this group of Kobold Dragon Shields begins to escort you all into the caldera, they give you a wide berth.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, Doc.
You are led down a walkway that sort of curls for quite a ways along the perimeter of this caldera, and you descend down into it. The heat is becoming quite extensive. I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh wow. Ugh. Got a 14.
What is the save for?
Heat.
Exhaustion.
Heat. Exhaustion. Okay. Uh,
The excessive heat, if you fail, will cause you to take on 1 level of exhaustion.
okay.
Mizya seems to be weathering this heat quite well
No
with
way.
a 21 con save.
She's not even or they're not even complaining that much.
They
I,
are
uh,
not.
I only got a 12.
Which is odd, for as much as Mizya has complained about the heat.
Yes.
Mizya, if nothing else, Mizya is being very quiet, continuing to look around. You do notice sweat pouring down in rivulets down their face, but they are not complaining.
Can I make a perception check to see if I see any sign of Assyria?
Go ahead. So hold on.
Okay, I apologize.
Doc, what was your save?
12.
Vorn and Teera. Teera, you got a 13, you said?
Yeah. Sorry, 14.
14. And Vorn?
13.
You are finding it difficult to get deep breaths down here, and each of you will take a point of exhaustion.
Yeah, we're typically from the northern us orcs here.
Yep, same.
Yeah,
So-
it's hot, it's stifling, and just as you try to get a breath,
Oh God.
Yeah, it feels like I'm trying to breathe under several blankets
Yeah.
during the
it's like
summertime.
almost like physical pressure.
Yeah.
which unfortunately is going to affect your perception or investigation roll,
Okay.
Teera.
All right. Okay. So how would it affect it?
First level exhaustion gives you disadvantage on ability checks, I believe.
Okay. So my investigation would be an 8.
Yeah. 1 second.
Sure, I don't see ninja
Where's the exhaustion note in D&D Beyond?
It is under conditions, under your hit points.
Ah,
Click conditions, and then at the bottom of the list is the exhaustion
got it.
marks. Okay, this is weird. A moment ago, all of my browser, both of my browsers where I'm monitoring the stream of D&D Beyond, just went black.
Oh no.
Oh God.
And then they came back, but I can't use anything, so I keep having to refresh websites. So I'm trying to see what's going on with these. Like, I could see Mizya's character sheet, but I couldn't interact with it.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it's good now.
Yay.
Okay. I need to make a couple rolls real quick to check something. Teera,
Yeah. Oh God. Okay. What?
you got an 8 on your investigation.
Yeah.
You're glancing around, and on the far side of the caldera, there is a section that is higher. This would have been where the road curved to the right and you began to move around. This is off to the left.
Okay.
And there's sort of some craggy volcanic rock that rises up, like the jagged remains of whenever this small volcano maybe blew its top however long ago. You see a small tumble of rocks spill down. And you catch sight of the white-gray fur of Soren and a flash of green from Assyria, who looks to have just slipped and for a moment is in plain view.
Oh, God.
Glancing around, you see that none of the kobold dragon shields that are escorting you have noticed.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
But peering out from the caves, some of these gaunt-looking kobolds and some that are holding children, they look over and they see, they see Assyria.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I want to freaking
they turn and they look away, and you even see a couple whisper, and then just sort of like you specifically notice that one kobold is holding a kobold youngling, and there's a younger kobold next to her, and the young kobold starts to point its finger up, and the parent pushes its hand down and pushes it back.
Oh, wow. Okay. But none of the Dragon Guard see?
None of the Dragon Guard noticed.
Oh, thank God. Okay, I don't do anything for now, but I have something in the chamber if they do notice her. Can I just kind of have a perpetual investigation on right now?
That would be your
passive perception.
Basically, what it is it's your passive, which I think you said was 13.
13.
So essentially, if you're actively keeping an eye out, I'm going to say you have temporarily you have an 18 passive.
Okay. I'm kind of making sure I keep an eye on them, and if they start to like tap each other and like point, then I got something ready.
All right.
18, you said. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
You, after a few moments, you are all brought down into the caldera proper. You're at the bottom of this caldera. The heat is unbearable for most of you. You're struggling to breathe. You can occasionally, these choking fumes come up of sulfurous with an even stronger blast of heat, and you just and you're struggling against it. And most of your vision for a few moments is obscured by just this haze. And then you're brought forward into a section where the volcanic rock is almost glass smooth, and the smoke clears, and you see where that large outcropping where you spotted Assyria, who, glancing up, you can no longer see them. But where that is, the caldera actually has a whole section that's carved out beneath that, and within there you see that there's this alcove, and the alcove, the volcanic rock has been not so much carved as it appears to have been sculpted with fire into almost a cradle-like throne, upon which Morn Varathader is spread out, their wings draped over them like some kind of cloak. In front of them is a boiling pool of lava. Just magma just bubbling in this pool. This thing is about 20 feet across. And in the center of it, there's a gap of about 10 feet. So in the middle of this thing is a 10-foot diameter section of rock, completely surrounded by this moat of molten magma. And on this 10-foot diameter island is glinting, gleaming, but kind of small treasure hoard. You can see that there are thousands of, and more so than any other coin, copper pieces, several hundred silver pieces, maybe 100 or so gold pieces, a few gemstones. You know, there might be, you see a little glimpse of red and a little piece of blue here, couple pieces of jewelry, and then there is a very small, like maybe 18 inches long and a foot high, 6 inches deep treasure chest. Very small. Inside, you don't know what is in it because it's closed, but leaning against these coins and kind of propped against the chest, you see that there is also a shield in this hoard. This hoard, some of you have probably seen more coin used to pay taxes than what this dragon is displaying in front of it.
Teera is trying so hard not to like burst out laughing. This has been a very intense day. She's a little emotionally raw, and this is hilarious.
Make a wisdom save.
Oh my god. Oh shit. It was an 18 and then it rolled and it was now a 5.
Okay, there's one saving grace here.
Oh god, shit.
Hey,
No.
what? Wrong one.
It's gonna freaking smoke us.
I'm gonna roll. So you can't help yourself. You know how when you see something that just makes you knee jerk, just kind of snort like.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you rolled a 5. Warren Verotheter got a 6 to notice.
Oh, scheisse. Okay.
And you do see that as you do that, he sort of sits up. Well, true to your word. And you can't help but notice that Morn Verotheter's voice seems to be amplified within the caldera, especially coming out of this chamber. It's like a natural amphitheater in here. I see you kept your word. Present yourself before me. I will have your names.
I look over at Doc. Yep.
Doc will step forward and he will say, "Hi, you can call me Doc."
That is your name? A single syllable?
Well, it's not so much as a name as an affectation of affection that people have called me, because generally speaking, I don't have a name.
Morn Verotheter laughs in derision at your name. And what of you, laughing girl?
And I stand a little bit straighter. And I was like, they call me Teera the Sun-Maned.
You're looking a little hot. Perhaps it's Teera the Sunburned.
I'm so pissed. I don't say anything else. I just sort of like cross my arms and stand back.
Orc half-breed.
Yes, Wormling.
You
Oh my.
Vorn, firstborn of Anushka. Yeah, I know what you are, as you know who I am. You see these burns on me? Your fire didn't kill me once, dragon. Why should we be cowering in fear?
Make an intimidation check.
Oh my God. What a badass.
All right, I'm gonna have to throw some advantage on that.
Oh.
Well, let me check something real quick.
Oh, yeah. This is important. That's a good call.
Okay. Can you use one of those advantages down to 2?
Let's go.
This was not the plan.
13 is what you rolled for intimidation.
I needed a 9 to hit, right?
I will oppose that with a natural 20,
Oh, damn it.
Oh.
which becomes a 22 for Morn Varothater.
That's fine.
Morn Varothater very quickly and very spryly raises up off of this throne.
Oh.
And the way they land, you just see their feet hit the ground, and there's just this stamp. You can hear an audible gasp around you as kobolds are gasping, and several of them duck inside. You even hear...
Jeez, that's a lot of die.
He's just checking.
I just grabbed one, and I'm rolling with advantage. Even with that, a couple of the dozen dragon shields drop their spears and have to quickly scramble to pick them up. As Morn Varothater rapidly moves on all fours, wings held back, sweeping behind it, head low, like a prowling animal, moves quickly around this molten horde presentation, moves in close to your group, and slithers around behind you, Vorn. The tail is curling around in front of you, and Morn Varothater cranes its head around from the other side, peering at you from your left side.
Oh, Jesus.
I burned away your flesh and hair and clothes, but apparently I left your balls intact.
Oh, yeah, you're damn right you did. Yes!
You will be my prized possession of my horde. You will become a champion of Morn Varothator.
Teera laughs harder at that, remembering when she kicked Vorn's ass.
Do you want those kind of laughs?
Yeah, there's another one of those.
The head suddenly whips around and it's just staring right at you, close enough that a billow of sulfurous smoke just in your face.
I do my best to not cough and not breathe at all while that's in my face.
You seem to find everything funny. Do you know what a jester is?
I don't believe so.
A clown. And the dragon sort of slinks around and comes around on the other side of you. I may keep you to entertain me, since jokes are your specialty.
And I'm looking over at Doc once in a while, just like annoyed at this whole thing.
And you. And the dragon continues moving around behind your group to stand in front of you, Doc. It stands to its full height and extends its neck as far as it can, just so that it can slightly glance down at you. It's only got like 2 inches on you, height-wise. at its full height. There is something different, something unique about you that I can't quite figure out. Doc, tell me, who are you? Where do you come from?
Okay, it's a really interesting story. So one day I woke up and I was on the road to Candlekeep, and in my pocket there was a drawing. And so I waited in line at Candlekeep to give the drawing to the people to let me in because I had a really overwhelming desire to go to Candlekeep to turn in this drawing. So after a little while, I waited in line and I gave the drawing to the people at Candlekeep. And they said, "Oh, wow, this is a very special drawing. Can you see what's special about this?" And I, of course, said, "No, I didn't know what was special about anything at all. It just looked like a child's drawing made of crayon." And then what I did was I said, "Oh, that's interesting," because I didn't see what they saw. So then they let me into Candlekeep and they said, "Hey, you would be good here. You can stay for 10 days. But then I said, "Well, why do I need to go to Candlekeep at all? Didn't I do what I said I was going to do, which was to turn the paper in," which I did. And then they said, "But you can stay anyway." So I did. And then I met these people and we went to some other place. And then we went to a different place. I can't even remember all the places we've been. And it's only been 3 weeks.
You see, the others of you notice that around you, several of the kobold dragon shields, they're starting to shift uncomfortably. They're looking at one another. A couple of them actually get a load of this guy kind of motion. But Morn Varothader just listens with rapt attention. I need you to make me one more. You can do it as a performance or persuasion check.
It's going to be persuasion. I'm assuming I can add guidance to this one.
Boop.
You're assuming you what? Can?
I cannot. Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, why wouldn't... I don't know. You've been telling this story.
Okay.
Unless guidance has a vocal component to it.
I don't know. Fuck, you're asking me questions. How
dare you?
No, it is verbal. Okay. Unless I could woo and make it part of the story. Okay, so I'm... Oh, shit. Persuasion, you said?
I would say that because of the way guidance works, I would allow it as a cantrip that you kind of weave it into this narrative as you're throwing a lot of words out.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That is a 22.
Morn Varothader is continuing to just watch and listen, and you see he is not moving. He is staring into your face from about maybe 2 feet away. The eyes are narrow. Then you finish telling your story. You will make an excellent scribe and orator. Teera, you can't help but notice that at calling Doc a scribe, Mizya chuffs just a bit, just
yeah, right. Oh my
not
god.
chuffs, scoffs just a bit.
Yep.
Scribe.
Amazing. Yeah.
Guards, give them their new adornments.
Oh my god.
We will speak soon. And the guards all move in, and each of you is outfitted with a set of leg shackles.
Oh.
And each of you is relieved of any physical weapons that you have on you. This time, Teera, 3 dragon shields two of them holding their spears pointed right at your chest, as the same one comes up to you and says, "Give sword now."
I want to reach back, and I want to kind of like, as I'm taking it out, I want to I want to scare him. I want to just like
Jump scare.
Make an intimidation check.
Yeah.
You know, Teera, if you would have like pulled it out to fight, I would have been down to die today.
I know.
Just
no,
to let you know.
Pull it out. I'm not gonna pull it out to
Are you
fight.
freaking kidding me?
That's
Go
a
ahead.
19.
So
Scare the shit out of him.
hold on. So this is fun. This is too funny because
Okay.
dragon shields, specifically, as we mentioned before, when there's somebody's frightened or can be made afraid, they get advantage. So the two that are holding their spears at you, I rolled 18s and 19s for them.
Oh, damn it.
The one that's got his hand out for your sword, both rolls were a nat 1.
He pees his pants.
He so much so that the other two just start laughing at him, and he just kind of stands there, and then the other two, they turn their attention back to you. Give sword.
I like stick it in the like ashen ground as deep as I can. And then I spit.
Make
on the
a
ground
make a
near it.
strength check real quick. Just roll strength.
Ooh, that's a 22.
You jam this sword in, and the soft volcanic rock gives way as your great sword sinks in a good 8 to 10 inches. The one that you effectively got with the jump scare steps forward and puts both hands on it, and he looks at the other two and he says, "Leave this here. It stay." And they leave it sticking in the ground where they can't get it. Vorn, you had your axe that you had picked up.
Oh yeah.
They will take that from you. Any daggers that anybody might have.
I have my bow. I'll take my bow off and just hand it to him. That's not as important to me.
So as they come to take it from me, you know that thing where you don't quite let go and they kind of wrestle it from you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking around the group and I'm like, no one else is ready to fight right now.
I look over and I just kind of like shrug, like, and I in Orcish, I say, not today, brother.
And Vorn says, you know, damn an orc. And he pushes the axe into the chest of the kobold and he turns towards the dragon and he goes, "I'm going to need another axe."
Morn Varathader does not respond to you as he moves back to his throne. You see any weapons that were collected from you, and the two of the kobold dragon shields stand guard next to Teera's greatsword sticking out of the rock. But the rest of your weapons are actually the kobolds actually move from a section of the caldera. They go over and they get a what appears to be a slab. It takes like 4 of them to carry this thing, this slab of volcanic rock, and they create a sort of bridge to the treasure hoard where they walk over your items and place them there, and then they pick up this thing and carry it back away off to the left side of the caldera. And you are all shackled about your legs, and you are led to a place inside the caldera behind where the throne is, into a cavern, and down some narrow passages where you are placed into a cavern at a dead end, and 4 dragon shields are placed on guard over you. And you are told, you will stay here until Monvarata summon you. We see as the leader this very skittish dragon shield that you've managed to scare a couple of times, as he walks out of the cavern and back into the caldera and goes over to where some other dragon shields are, says a few things to them. Many of the kobolds begin to go back about their business, and we sort of see this high angle view looking down at these dragon shields, and they begin to take up positions. You can see some of the kobolds up top are have removed the horse from the wagon and are leading the horses off somewhere. And you see several of the more haggard looking kobolds are beginning to rifle through the cart, seeing if there's anything else of value in there. And we see, as this view is unfolding, the camera just sort of pulls back as we see Assyria just sort of lean back and put her back against the rock and turns to Soren and says, well, this is not how I saw this day going. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Yes, I was going to say that's got to be it. Wow.
That's perfect.
Oh, damn it.
I think choosing not to fight the dragon was probably a really smart choice. Because you guys are in some pretty darn bad shape.
Yeah, we are. Oh, God. Damn it all.
So,
I don't want to be a jester, guys. Not going to be very funny.
Next Monday, we will return with more Scribes and Scrolls to Candlekeep Mysteries number 25. I don't know what it's going to be called yet, but we're going to see what is going to happen to the book club next, as we got a little bit of a split party. But yeah, tomorrow night, you can catch me over on Dice on Ice RPG. Keep an eye on the social medias just in case something happens and we don't play. Otherwise, we will be playing our Curse of Strahd campaign. I believe Wednesday is actually, there's nothing, I'm not streaming anything but this Thursday, November 11th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Mini-Terrain Domain. It is the season finale of Dawnbringer Season 5, Rime of the Frost Maiden, an episode called Icewind Scales, as they are facing their final challenge of the season. I want to say, I think that she has long since gone to bed, or should have, if she hasn't. We were, of course, without Jordan and Dwight tonight. Jordan is resting up. We want to give our congratulations one more time to Jordan, who had an incredibly successful stream, charity stream this weekend. Hold on a second.
It was very successful.
That's very weird. If anybody popped in, I just went to look at the charity stream to get the information about what happened with the charity, and apparently for the last 2.5 hours I have been in one of the Discord voice channels on Jordan's Discord.
Okay.
I told you something went weird with my computer
at
some point.
That's what it is.
So assuming my mic was working and not taken over by the other programs,
Phenomenal.
Ashenworks just said, yeah, I wasn't going to mention it. I was going to say, somebody had to have noticed that. So
Passion works.
Yeah, thanks for not mentioning it during the stream. But anyway, as we were congratulating Jordan on a successful blowing past their $2,500 goal, hitting $4,526 for the weekend, their total for the year for Color of Change was $13,920. We commend you and your community, Jordan. You have some amazing friends. I count myself lucky to be among them, and it was an honor to produce and run games this weekend. Gary and Dwight also participated in that in many ways, as well as many, 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 many other people. Jordan has a ton of VODs if you want to go watch the shenanigans that happened all weekend. But congratulations on that. We will see you next week. I do want to say, as we are getting into November here, at the end of November, as we reach Thanksgiving, you'll notice the streams start getting sparser. Mini Terrain Domain is actually taking most of the month of December off from live streaming for some much needed recovery and planning for the next season of Dawnbringers and other things. And while we will not have brand new live episodes of Scribes and Scrolls, we will have new Scribes and Scrolls episodes, special presentations each week in December. So you will want to stay tuned for that. So with that, I just want to say a huge thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight, whether you were active in the chat or you were lurking. If you were silently lurking in the background and not participating in chat, thank you. We appreciate you all the same. And finally, a huge thank you, as always, to my amazing players, Gary, Cari, Ricky, and even though they're not here, Jordan and Dwight, without whom it would just be me talking to myself for a couple hours. With that, we are going to
wait. Oh, wait,
yes. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. Gary, hit him with that announcement.
This coming Saturday on the Talon and Claw Twitch channel, Jake will be running episode 4, the third episode that he's DM'd of the Evangeline, the Flip, Flop, and Chop adventures. We are raising money, as always, for Jesse's journey. We've raised well over $30,000 in the past year, and this is a new year. So come out. It'll be fun, and there's nothing to predict what's going to happen because apparently we're going to space.
We're going to space.
Yep.
That's going to be
in space.
It's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific. And I promise there will be nonsense.
We're going to see how long Gary can dodge the adventure hook this time. I think last time it was an hour and a half. They actively avoided the hook. So, new tactics, Gary. New tactics. All right. With that, thank you, everybody. We are going to go ahead and end this stream the same way we end every stream. And you can say it with me if you want.